Tonight is
Wednesday,
August the 21st. This is Management 3025 in the Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Organizational Management. This is our first Wednesday night meeting. We will meet approximately every other Wednesday. And should there be enough interest, we'll meet more often. My name is Roger Strickland. I'm one of your two instructors. Over here is Mr. Jimmy Williams. He and I will be covering this class together with equal authority and responsibility. Feel free to communicate with either one of us. Your sections, we have 5 sections to this class. Jimmy has 3, I've got 2, and we're going to put them all together. We have put them all together on Canvas, the learning management system. So when you access this course on the computer on Canvas, you go to eStaff, go to Canvas, go to this course. It'll show all sections together. And that's where you're going to find all the material we're going to talk about tonight, all the material you're going to need for the course. Okay? And again, any issues at all, feel free to contact either one of us or both of us. The best way to contact us is to email us on Canvas. Don't email us through the Santa Fe address. At least in my case, I've got 5 other classes going and I get enough email on that address as it is. If you'll email me on Canvas and let me know what section are you in, .0M1, 0M2, 053, whichever section. If we know what section you're in, it may help us keep things a little more clear. If you have issues of a private nature, personal nature, email us. If you have a question of general interest to the class, did the test get moved? Have we decided not to cover Chapter 4 on the exam? Or whatever like that, that's of general interest, post that to the discussion forum. When you see something on the discussion forum and you know the answer to it, go ahead and answer it. Okay? The discussion forum is where you can meet one another. You can email each other, you can chat with one another, you can post questions on the discussion forum, so that if, for example, as many have done successfully in the past year in this course, if you want to get a group of folks together who meet once a week or so outside of class and go over some materials or work on some projects together, a discussion forum post is a good place to do that. Say, I'm interested in finding people who are free on Tuesday evenings, would like to come out here and work on this course. So use it for that purpose. General organization of the course. There are, your grades are, let's see how we do this. You go to, oh, lovely, and the night begins. You go to eStaff. From that you go to Canvas. From that you go to this course. And when you get to that course on the page, you'll have a nice little opening page, shows you a copy of the 2 textbooks. There are 2 textbooks for this course. And over on the left-hand side is a menu of items, and the one you're going to want to look for is called modules. Now, modules tells you what's going on. The first module you'll see is called Admin Documents, or Docs, Administrative Documents. That's got your syllabus, general policies for the course, the way the grade is determined, etc. And it's got your course schedule. The course schedule is a critical element. It tells you what assignments are due at what dates. It tells you when the exams are. It tells you what chapters we're covering in sequence, so you know what material you're responsible for on the exams. So the course schedule is, in a sense, your primary guide for this course. Canvas has its own calendar. Don't trust it. It lies, okay? It shifted some dates on me last term, and I had people thinking they had to show up Monday nights for this class. Fortunately, we caught it in time. Trust the course schedule, okay? Now, what's entailed in the course? Lots of writing. Lots of writing and high standards for writing. Essentially what's going to happen in this course, we're going to ask you to take a look at yourself. This is going to be a very, come on in, self-reflective course. It's going to ask you things like, who are you? What's important to you? My experience has been, and we'll talk about experiences here in a minute, most folks go into management positions not really knowing very much about themselves and their values and their behavioral characteristics and the image that they put across to other people. And so My belief is that if you know more about yourself, you're going to be a lot more confident and a lot more capable in the way you come across and direct or manage, lead, contact, relate to others. Question?
No, before you, when you put e-staff,
Yeah.
that's actually for the employees.
I'm sorry, e-Santa Fe, sorry. Have it. Okay,
I mean, I've already found it, but thank
so here's what's happening. Your grades are going to come from 5 what we call demonstrated competencies. DCs. Each one is explained. Each one has a due date. Competencies are normally due on Mondays at noon. Since most folks have the weekends free, that's meant to give you a little window there. We know exactly from Canvas when you turn those in. If you are in the habit of turning work in 5 minutes before the deadline, there is a term for that. It's called unprofessional. It is a clear indicator that you're a procrastinator, you poorly manage your time, and the quality and caliber of your work is subject to question before I ever open and read it. So your big challenge in this course is scheduling and organizing and disciplining your time. So your work is submitted in a timely fashion, up to standard or above. Okay? So noon Monday, if you're turning stuff in on Monday morning, you're already behind. Think about that. Every assignment is already made. You could finish all the assignments in this course in the next 2 weeks if you were totally dedicated. And you can turn them in early. That's not a problem. Okay? Don't be turning in stuff late. One of the things we're trying to establish in this course is a set of professional standards of behavior for you as students in this program and as managers. You are going to be, if you're not already, many of you are, you're going to be role models. People are going to look at what you're doing and say, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how I'm supposed to be doing it. Well, how doesn't mean do it at the last minute. Okay? 5 competencies. Think of them as rather more extended writing assignments. More extended analysis. When you turn in a competency, hopefully you'll have given it a lot of thought. You may have done some additional research. You want to put some citations in on there. One of them might deal with what's appropriate managerial dress in this environment, blah, blah, blah. And you say, well, here's 6 citations I found on the internet from doing some research. Imagine that this competency is something I, as your manager, have asked you for because I don't know enough about it. Now, you can either view that as a chore and a challenge and just a general pain in the neck, and you can do just enough to get by, you hope. Or you can see it as an opportunity to show both of us the caliber of the work you do and the caliber of character that is behind it. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Tim?
Quick question, or I guess a statement to everybody in the class. When I went in for the books, I got this one. I thought there were 2, and I asked for, I said, there's supposed to be 2 books. And they went, no, that's all you get. I said, I know better than that. I took it a year ago. And for whatever, I had a couple of problems.
Okay.
But yeah, make sure you get both of them, because
There's both
I've got
books
to
in the
now
back.
go back and get the other one.
There's a picture of both books on the website, on the cover page for the course. Those books have been out in print for a couple of 3 years at least. There are a lot of used copies available.
They're about 1/10 the price on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay? You want Kanicki's 5th edition.
Take a while.
They're using the 6th now, so there'll be a lot of used copies. Caproni's 3rd edition. Plenty of them out. Yes, sir.
How often are we going to use these textbooks?
Heavily on the midterm and the final. Absent that, the way we're going to run this course is we're going to say, here, go do it. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time holding hands, giving you little bitty detailed assignments and the way you did it going through public school, you know. No, this is more like management. Imagine this. I want you to do a 20-minute presentation for our new client. I want you to lay out the budget and the proposed work we're going to do for him. I want you ready to do that in 2 weeks. I need about a 7 or 10 slide PowerPoint to support it. I want plenty of documentation for it, and I want a nice document to hand the client after you've done your presentation. You got it? 2 weeks.
Bottom line is you're going to be a manager.
Yeah, and guess what? There ain't no do-overs. You got a problem? Let me know. You got a question? Give Jimmy a call. I don't want to deal with it. You know. Ask. But mostly, here's a textbook. There's 16 chapters. I'm going to give you 200 multiple choice questions that cover the first 8 chapters. I'm not going to give you the answers. And I'm going to take 40 of those questions, and there's your midterm. And if you make less than 90%, what the hell is important to you? You've had it for 4 to 8 weeks. It's all online. And you couldn't take work that you had 8 weeks to prepare and learn the answers to 200 questions. If you can't do that, if you can't manage yourself, what the hell do you think you're going to do trying to manage other people? You see what I'm saying? The textbook, there'll be 8 chapters in Kinnicky, then the final 8 more chapters with the test banks. Caproni book is a more self-reflective book. There are some study questions for it, and we will take questions from those study questions literally. What does Caproni say about? What is a bricoleur? Are you one? Why? Well, you've had that question for 8 weeks. If you've worked the answer up to it and you've rehearsed it a few times and you walk in and you see it on an exam, that to me is called Christmas. Here's your present. It's a gift. So if you make below a C on the midterm, drop the course. If you make below a C on the final, you won't pass this course. That's the rule. That's the textbook side of the course. That's the standard stuff you should learn in any basic principles of management course. All this other stuff is more of your grade, more points and stuff, and this will be a lot more in-depth, a lot more self-reflective, and a lot more, what's the word, thought-stimulating maybe? So that's where we're going.
The things that'll make you successful as a manager. The theory or the kind of stuff that you learn in the lower level classes, the 100 classes, the 200 classes, but now you're going to need to learn the kinds of things that you can apply on the job and be successful on the job. That's what this is all about.
Good. That's exactly right. That's what this degree is. This is not the Bachelor of Science degree in business from the University of Florida, by definition and design. This is a bachelor's in applied science. This degree is about how do you use this stuff tomorrow when you go to work. This is not about a whole bunch of theory. If we were just doing theory, we'd just use a textbook. Okay? When you come to class on Wednesday evenings, I want to talk about real issues. Kind of like the way we started tonight. What would you do? What would be the stupidest thing you could do? Those kind of questions. Okay? So, back to the competencies. There's 5 of them. They're worth 30 points apiece. There's 150 points. You turn it in 1 minute late, whatever your grade was, we cut it in half. Okay? There are 5 what we call writing assignments. These are more brief. They're not as long. They may take a particular issue and ask you to discuss it. They have due dates also, but the due dates on those mean you better have it ready then. Don't turn it in then. Don't turn it in until we call you for it. We'll email you. If writing assignment number 1, that's the exception. We'll deal with that in a minute. If a writing assignment is due the 5th of October, then anytime after the 5th of October, you may get an email from either one of us that says, I'd like to see writing assignment number 5. Oh, and while you're at it, send me number 3 and number 4. What the hell? They're already done, right? Okay? So, 5 of those, they're 20 points apiece, so there's one. Yeah. 2 midterms. 2 exams. 2 exams. Yeah, about 40 or 50 multiple choice questions. A few short answer questions from Caproni. And another section on quantitative methods. A little bit of basic financial mathematical calculations. Suggest you pick up a Business Analyst 2 from Texas Instruments. It's a financial calculator. It's got buttons on it that say I/Y, N, PMT, FV, and PV, something like that. That's a financial calculator. You'll find videos and handouts on how to use it. We'll practice with it here in the classroom. You'll see it on video if you don't make it to class. And so the last part of your exam will involve a set of calculations. If you have, let's say you have an assisted living facility that you're the manager for. You have 50 beds in that living facility. And it costs you $22,000 a month for fixed costs to pay all your salaries, utilities, and expenses. And it costs you approximately $1,500 a month to take care of one of your residents. and you can probably only fill it 80% full, so you'll never have more than about 40 residents. How much do you have to charge every resident in order to break even, in order to get through the month and cover all your costs? A fairly logical calculation, but a lot of folks have never done it before. We'll do that sort of stuff, and we'll do other things involving the time value of money, which will prepare you for the finance class when you take it. Okay? So this is, in that sense, a fairly complete and somewhat rigorous course. That's where we're going to grade you. Oh, and we forgot one more thing. I'm prone to sitting on the back porch in the evenings. I've got a nice screened-in back porch, about 2 acres, cleared it out, beautiful out there. Got deer, birds, squirrels, hot tub, rocking chair. I'm prone to sitting out there in the evening watching the sun go down and having a vodka martini. And once in a while, I ask myself, I wonder what those folks in the class would think about this. And I'll think of a scenario. And now I got Jimmy to work with me so we can think of them together. And so you may get a little email that says, oh, attached is a scenario, give me your response to it in the next 72 hours. It's worth 10 points or 20 points or 30 points. We're going to throw those at you unexpectedly once in a while. Why would we do that other than the fact that we're sitting around and bored silly? Real world, here it is.
Right there.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, all of these emails, are they gonna be sent over Canvas?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. So we'll put a blank down here for we don't know how many, what should we call those assignments?
Spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment? Much, much more polite than what I had in mind.
You'll find that that's typical.
And remember, our intention is to create the scenario that you work for us and you should be trying to impress us. And not by going overboard. I don't want to hear a bunch of braggadocio. I don't want to hear all how great you are. I want you very quietly, very professionally, showing an absolute superb standard of personal and professional performance. Okay?